pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Lone Druid.
Dire team pick.
Bat Rider.
Vengeful spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oracle.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Dota Pit. We have one game and one game only for you tonight. It's going to be Mama's Boys
Radiant
versus
team
London
back.
Conspiracy, and since the commercials went a little wrong, we'll go straight to the draft without too much preamble, and I can welcome in my co-caster, Heen, who's going to be joining me. Heen, what's going on, man?
Hey, it's good to be back.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you've been casting a
This
lot
patch,
with
you know,
Dota,
it's
right?
been out for more than a
5
month, but it
seconds
kind of feels
remaining.
like it's still a new patch because there have been so many mini patches in between, and we're already
Reserve
on
time.
6.86D. So, I'm still eager to see what each team has, you know, to show
Dire
us
team back.
something new, perhaps.
Yeah, it seems like this patch hasn't been completely figured out. It feels like, just because of the fact that there is so many changes that happened, and every
10
single
seconds
team seems to be like taking some of their favorite heroes and just trying to make it
5
work.
seconds
And
remaining.
because every single team seems to have their own playstyle, we really haven't figured out where the meta
Reserve
actually
time.
lies. Like, is Alliance correct with the way that they're drafting Lone
Reserve
Druid, Bat
time.
Rider, those kind of heroes? I mean, they definitely did get buffed up, but going to
Radiant
be
team pick.
enough. Well, it seems like most of the teams that I've been casting anyway have been following along that line. Bat Rider, Lone Druid. I've seen some Nature's Prophet, not quite as much there. But Chants and Enchantresses have also been in pretty high demand as well. So, seems like most teams are kind of following the success of Alliance, but I don't know what what do you think
10
about the
seconds
mid Bat Rider
remaining.
that S4 does compared to the offlane Bat Rider? Because I've heard a couple different things about this. I've
5
heard the
seconds
offlane Bat Rider
remaining.
isn't actually as viable anymore. It's actually more about the mid Bat Rider than anything else.
Reserve time.
Well, I think with the changes to the neutral camp, the camps are harder to farm because they have magic resistance and they're farther apart. So if you have an offlane Bat Rider, he has to rely on stacks, whereas the mid Bat Rider can more reliably get CS, and
Dire team pick.
he'll get really good levels early on, and there's like not a very high chance that you'll have a bad game and like a really late blink dagger, whereas a mid Batrider is going to get that 15-minute blink dagger almost every game.
Radiant team pick.
That does seem like the last time I watched an offlane Batrider, they did push him out pretty early, and he wasn't able to actually have that quick impact that the mid Batrider like kind of guarantees seems to have. The Jakiro now picked up from Mama's Voice is going to give them a bit more laning presence. Works pretty well with the Batrider. Any sort of
10
solid
seconds
disable to work
remaining.
with that macro pyre, but I'm still a little bit concerned. London
5
Conspiracy
seconds
have
remaining.
some of the, I would say, just more solid all-around heroes with the Gyrocopter
Reserve
pickup,
time.
especially as the carry. The Lone Druid in the off lane. It's maybe a bit greedy, but I feel like as long as they get a mid lane, they can just run around and do things with Gyro, Oracle, and whatever other support they go for. And I'm not sure if Mamba Boys can actually contest those team fights because they seem to be primarily pick off and perhaps a little bit of.
Well, to me, it looks like Mama's Boy have a pretty okay team fight. You can't underestimate Nature's Prophet's ult. Vengeful, we don't know if it's going to be a carry,
Crystal Maiden.
but if it is, early game,
Dire team banned.
they have enough lockdown between the Batrider, Vengeful, and the Jakiro.
Crystal Maiden was not what I was expecting at all. I don't really know what to make of that one, to be honest.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, first of all, the aura doesn't even work real well with the Lone Druid to
5
start.
seconds remaining.
And then just in general, Crystal Maiden
Radiant
hasn't actually
team
been picked up like hardly at all in this meta.
Yeah, I don't really see the synergy between Crystal Maiden and the other 3 heroes LC has right now.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it is.
I mean, I
jungler,
can see
but-
like the
Dire
Oracle
team pick.
Go on.
and Gyrocopter have like really spammable spells. But I guess they're setting something up for the mid hero, perhaps.
Radiant team pick.
The Wraith King's now going to be the last pickup for Mama's Voice, so they do have this. Now that I see like a Wraith King in the safe lane farming position, they've got a pretty aggressive lineup, it seems. Oh. Okay. Our Dota TV is probably enough.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
You can just go ahead and mute co-broadcasters in
10
your Dota,
seconds remaining.
and that
Oh, okay.
that hopefully will fix it.
5 seconds remaining.
Because part of the problem is your audio goes through
Broodmother. Okay, I think it's fixed now.
Broodmother. Is this mid Broodmother?
It's a mid Baby Night Broodmother. I recently saw this, I think last week. I'm sorry, Cap, I'm not hearing you. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Cap. I muted co-broadcasters and I stopped hearing you.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. We'll
And right now I hear myself said.
We'll I ain't get the thing. Not sure what happened. We did a test earlier. Seems to be okay. Can you able
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you on Skype now.
Prepare for
Oh, okay,
battle.
cool.
Alright, now.
I wonder what messed up.
Oh. Okay, I muted co-broadcasters now. It should be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what do you think about the mid Broodmother? Because I remember watching this a while back. Actually, it wasn't so long ago that mid Broodmother was actually being seen in the South American scene, and it kind of made its way into some of the matches when like Elite Wolves or the X Unknown guys would face up against some of the North American teams. And we would see it then, and I believe it's been seen in Southeast Asia as well in one of the games that I casted. And then I think it made its way to Europe shortly thereafter. But what do you think about the mid-brood mother?
30 seconds.
To be honest, I was always kind of skeptical about mid broodmother because I feel like at mid you can get the mid tier 1, but afterwards you're not surrounded by neutral camps, so you're not really fully utilizing the broodmother's potential. But the last time I saw Baby Knight play Broodmother, it was the exact same matchup, I believe, Brood against Batrider, and I was really surprised because he completely wrecked the laning stage and made it worth it. So I can't really intelligently comment on it because who really played Brood in the history of Dota at mid regularly, other than this guy. This is, I think, the only team that I know that when they pick Broodmother, you assume it's a mid Broodmother, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how Baby Knight's able to do against Hook's Batrider. Already got the counter ward down. Baby Knight doesn't actually have any counters of his own to deal with this. Will probably make his way over as the Crystal Main to try and do that. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, looks like Pinecat's actually going to try and get aggressive on Viper here. And they should be able to kill him, actually. Throws out the Q, but it's not going to be enough. And eat first blood picked up by Yapzor as this aggressive tri-lane seems like it's just going to tear apart this London Conspiracy tri-lane just because they're so squishy.
Yeah, Gyrocopter is not really good against aggro lanes like this because just the fact that at level 1, Gyro's not a very scary hero, especially like Mama Boy's 3 heroes. If they group up together, Rocket Barrage isn't really going to do much. I think
fairly tanky as well.
That's true as well. Even Vengeful has a really high strength gain for an Agi hero. Range Agi hero at that. Also, you have to be really careful because the Crystal Maiden wants to jungle, and they already gave up the first blood, and they have to realize that they have to calm down and realize that they're on the back foot here. I think that kill just now on Gyro is the last that. Otherwise, if they feed more kills, this lane might really get out of control. So they're treading on really shallow waters right now.
Yeah, they definitely can't be affording to feed any more to this aggressive tri-lane, because otherwise they're just making it all worth it. Fortunately, well, Pycat, he's not completely out of mana. He's got 40 mana in the bank, but he's got that Mango stashed away, so they could actually still go for yet another kill. I think one of the big things here is missing is that Viper wasn't level 2 that whole entire time, and now that he is level 2, I am pretty damn sure that this is not the skill build that he actually wants against this aggressive tri-lane. I really think Fate's Edict is the play here. If they start going on the Gyrocopter, protect him from that magic damage and all those nukes coming in, I'm fairly certain they're not going to have the opportunity to get aggressive with Purifying Flames, and without having Fate's Edict in the first place, Purifying Flames isn't a strong heal either.
Oh, I agree, but I mean, on the other hand, I guess like Mob Boys have like way too much physical damage. It no longer disarms Fate's Edict, right? If it disarmed, then it would have been a no-brainer, but I don't know. Then on the other hand, like you pointed out, Purifying Flames doesn't really do much to prevent Gyro from getting killed. So actually, I think a lot of this lane depends on how Crystal Maiden decides to join in. Because from the get-go until now, it's been a 2-on-3, and we can see Crystal Maiden's been somewhat heading towards the safe lane. But I feel like it might be a bit too late, having already given those 2 kills to Mama Boys early on. Oh, we...
They'll be able to hit the dual breath. Pycat's going to be turned around on. They don't actually have quite enough to finish him off until that second Purifying Flame comes in. Now Saksa is going to be the next target. They get him as well. Yapzor, he's going to try and retreat through the trees, but they could actually block him in here and take him down as well. Yapzor realizes that, turns the other direction, still getting caught by the Frostbite. Good body blocks as well from Sullen. And Jalopy, he's almost there. He's got another Mango coming in, and he can run down until Pycat shows up for the stuff. Now gonna go around on, take some damage. Fiver's here as well. Maybe Pycat's gonna die a secondary time. Saksa to the rescue here with a stun onto the gyrocopter, and that should bring the end of this engagement. As Jesus, Jakiro almost goes down in the end there to another Purifying Flames. As this lane was just fought back by London Conspiracy. Now I'm not even sure how it happened. The level 2 Purifying Flames is definitely a big factor, but I guess Solon just kind of came in from the side and found his opportunity.
Well, it was a really awkward engagement because when Wraith King first threw the stun, the follow-up was kind of late, so Wraith King ended up tanking way too much from Gyro, and I guess that answers our question about whether Oracle should have picked up the Purifying Flames, because if he had opted for the Fate's Edict at level 3, he would have had 1-1-1.
Right.
And as we saw, the Purifying Flames actually did so much damage, even if it doesn't end up killing someone. When you first get hit by it, like, you just go so low, and you know you're gonna get healed up, but you have to respect the fact that he might nuke you again. And it made, like, with Fate's Edict, I don't think the engagement would have quite turned out that way. So me not being a Oracle player, I guess this kind of answers our question.
They get a bit of damage here on Pycat, slow him down with Frostbite, but Fiver's still going to be the target. Jalopi's going to come in and try and get some sort of counter. They will be able to blow up that Oracle as the Furion ult comes in, and Jalopi's not going to be able to pursue. Gets stunned up. Yapzor's still sitting on the side here. He'll be able to get off the dual breath, and they actually might kill Jalopi. They're going to get a little bit more damage. Get that one kill. Yapzor looking for another. The Ice Path hits. Pycat's not close enough for the Rate 5 blast, but the dual breath lands, and now he will be able to finish him off. Fairy Fire or no, Crystal Maiden still goes down. Double kill. Going to Yapzor towards the end, and his tri-lane is just full of surprises that go one way pretty heavily. Oh, 60 Bambo. Another route? Not gonna happen. Didn't have the Savage Roar anymore. And all things and oh, Yapzor is gonna get caught. Caught there. That almost was a kill. He got an Ice Path just before Biver hit that Purifying Flames.
Yeah, I was playing on the edge. But Jakiro's level 5 at 6 minutes, and he's a tri-lane support. That just kind of speaks to how much action there's been on the bottom lane. I think it's gonna quiet down a little now. As I don't know, are Mama's Boys not gonna back down from bottom lane? Because I guess like both sides have a winning chance. It's just a matter of execution right now. But when Gyro hits level 6, they might not be so confident to aggress on London LC's tri-lane.
Yeah, yeah, it feels like they've got like one last shot, right? You don't want to be continuing to go forward against a Gyrocopter level 6, especially when Wraith King isn't even close to his reincarnation. So if they can maybe get one last fight, and then maybe call it a day, rotate up to that top lane, and have Furion do some tripling or something. And bring the Furion eventually pick off Solon is a good way to start here, leading with a stun, follow up Ice Path. Solon, knowing he's going to go down here, just gets off whatever abilities can. Hanging out Jalopi. They will back themselves away. How's that mid lane going, by the way? It seems to be going all right for Hook. Hard to tell with the CS, obviously, because he's gotten a lot of spiderlings, but seems to be, at the very least, drawing even with the Broodmother, if not winning it.
Yeah, I think Batrider has played this matchup really well. The last time, the game I talked about where Broodmother completely dominated Batrider, there might not have been sentries on bottom. They're going in. Oh, Bambo, aggressive TP.
Yeah, that's a good aggressive TP too. That Rocket Barrage just gets completely soaked up by those treants. And now he's going to get off a little bit more damage, but in the end, Mama's Boys have overrun this tier 1 tower, and they're going to get 2 pickups for it. Good TP out from the Oracle, though. Smart play, limiting the losses. And finally, we saw that Furion come in. Earlier, we saw the ultimate finish up one of those heroes, but finally actually make a lot of TP lane, and from the fight he actually completed Hand of Midas, so 8.5 minutes in, not bad timing, especially with the Null Talisman and boots already picked up.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, there was so much action on the bottom lane that we didn't really get a chance to talk about the mid and top lane. One of the things, when you have a safe lane, the Furion, Nature's Prophet, it kind of encourages you to go, not encourage you, but it makes your aggro tri-lane much stronger because of plays like this. Lone Druid is stuck in a...
That was just perhaps a bit too aggressive. Challenging the Nature's Prophet, but it just took him so long to actually complete the kill that the rest of the TPs came in. But yeah, as you were saying, the 1v1 matchup was fairly okay for the Furion to have, especially considering he can make that rotation to the aggressive trialing whenever he needs.
Yeah, LC is in a lot of trouble right now because the lanes worked out really well for all of. I think while we were so focused on bottom, Bambo got a solo kill on Kefka, the Syllabear. I think so, because I checked in the early scoreboards, and yeah, Syllabear was 0-1, whereas Furion was 1-0. And he got both. He got good levels. He got the Midas. They slowed down the gyro a lot. Like Gyro's not gonna have a Helm of Dom or a Sanjin Yasha for a long time. So Batrider has the blink, so everything is working towards I love Mama Boy's mid game transition right now. I'm kind of worried about how LC are going to, dodge these timed aggression from Mama Boys. I'm not sure if Broodmother can really do anything to help this team right now, because that's one of the weaknesses of Broodmother. He can't swap lane to lane, and at mid, the tower is still very healthy for Dire. And on top of that, Batrider has a Blink Dagger, so we see Broodmother's, he's been going to the jungle because he doesn't want to pressure and feed. Oh.
And he gets the pick off on Baby Knight. They already have the rotation from the Jigger Hero and 60 Bambo. Actually, a good save there from Viber. Gets off the ultimate. And now the turnaround. Baby Knight does get a little bit of life steal here. Still trying to track down 60 Bambo. Gets the full heal out and will continue to chase 60 Bambo. No sprout up for another 2 seconds, but a good pushback there from Hook. Followed up by the Ice Path from Yapzor. Lock in Viber, but London Conspiracy with a full 4 here in the middle lane. Mama's boys have no chance to be able to go for the pickoff.
Yeah, that was a weird engagement. No one died. It was very close because Call Down almost clipped both the Batrider and the Furion, I believe. So I guess that was pretty good for LC because Broodmother could have just died before Oracle could have responded. What we talked about, the mid game, Mama Boys have all the tools, whereas I get the feeling that LC kind of wants more time. This isn't how they picture the game would unfold. Gyrocopter still, he's very poor. He only just hit level 7 a few minutes ago. So it's Mama Boy's game to lose right now, for the mid game at least.
They've got such a good mid-game powerhouse. Oh, got a swap on to Baby Knight. Yapzor's already there. That said, Baby Knight is pretty damn tanky. Between the treads and the 4-man shield, he's going to be able to run down Saksa. Not able to get the kill, but does at least survive the gank attempt.
Yeah, he's really tanky. He had a almost full magic wand and he had treads, so he's not one of those other Broodmothers that just rush orchids with brown boots. He's pretty tanky.
What do you think his build should be, though? Now that he's got his basic stats and knowing that you are going to be feeling a lot of pressure from Mama's boys going into the mid game because they did well in the laning phase and they have just that kind of lineup. What do you think the answer is?
Looking at Mama Boy's lineup, I feel like Manta would be a really good pickup. I'm not sure, as a first item, I'm not sure it's a good pickup. Batrider just lassoed
I don't know about this one, Hook. That felt like a bit of a stretch. He was fireflying and he was trying to catch Kefka for the longest time, but he never got an opportunity until it was just way too deep for him to actually get a kill. But in the middle lane, Yapzor is going to be fighting out with the Broodmother, who pops his ultimate and turns his attention now to the Batrider. Batrider popping that Firefly should be just fine and actually gets a decent number of Spiderlings.
Yeah, they have LC don't have really good control for the Batrider.
That's not the swap. Saksa still gonna go down. Broodmother managed to get the spawn Spiderlings out in time, and it just seems like the action is not gonna slow down every single time. Take the time to talk about where this game is and where it could be going, there just seems to be more and more action. As
Dire's top tower
like
is under
Sexy
attack.
Bambo is just trying to harass him back. It's like the tier 1 tower will go down though. I'm gonna rotate Solon up. If Solon comes up, it feels like that tier 1 tower should die, but the Spirit Bear is super low. Summon. Yeah,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they can get a trade for the safe lane tower that they just lost. With Bambo.
Good ult there from Jalopy, but it was up by Vibrant. They're gonna have to cancel that TP. So sure enough, London Conspiracy make the rotation to ensure that the tier 1 tower does go down.
Yeah, it's not the biggest win, but it was much needed for London Conspiracy to stay in this game. Yeah, but this game is actually pretty action-packed. A kill a minute right now. So Broodmother, because it's a mid Broodmother, I'm not sure if he can just not, be like a normal Brood where he just does his own thing for the first 30 minutes of the game. He has to. Oh, he picked up a Sanj. So I'm assuming he's going Sanjin Yasha.
Yeah.
I suggested the Manta because he can disjoint the 2 stuns from Wraith King and the Vengeful, and he can kind of use it when he thinks Batroid is gonna jump in.
Look, he managed to grab Viper there, and that's a good pickup, but at the same time, they didn't quite get him because of the Frostbite. Now, Oracle managed to turn around and get off his ultimate, and that will be the end of at least the Vengeful Spirit. Broodmother's going to keep on going and get his secondary kill. That's going to be just the Wraith King's reincarnation, but fortunately, with all this lifesteal, Baby Knight's just able to sit in the front there with those heavy stat build that he's got going on. And Mama's boys, who were the initiators for that fight. Oh, Jesus, Crispin still went down. Fat Rider still ended up getting up that one. It looks like just perhaps a little bit of burn from the flame break. Caught her at the end.
Yeah, that was a really good fight for LC. We talked about how Brood doesn't really, he can't transition from his lane with the webs to another lane easily, but they kind of, Mama Boys brought the fight to them, which kind of worked in their favor, and they were 5-man already. So the lasso, when you hear a lasso, you expect someone to die within seconds, but they were able to either kite or prolong the follow-up. Mama Boys.
Done on the bear. Jalopy pushes them back though with the ultimate, and they're still gonna try and commit to this tier 1 tower. Mama's boys, they've committed a lot to defend this tower. They're actively trying to fight in a Broodmother lane, even trying to initiate, as we saw that didn't go quite the way they wanted last time, but they are committing so many resources to keeping this tier 1 tower up. Do you think that's just because of the fact that they feel like they can take London Conspiracy in a fight, even if it is the the Broodmother lane with all that spider webs and this big tanky stat-focused Broodmother? Do you think they figure it doesn't matter because we've got a mid-game lineup and we did well in our laning phase?
Well, it's sort of hard to answer because Broodmother's mid right now. I think the thinking process right now is, if you look at Dire's lineup, they have a Nature's Prophet and a Batrider, which suggests they would want to split up and kind of play divide and conquer.
Right.
But because Broodmother's mid and this tower, the tier 1 tower at mid for Dire, is basically tying Broodmother to the mid lane, and every time Broodmother feels like he has to go to the mid lane, he's basically putting himself in danger. So I think that's why Mama Boys is putting a lot of value on the mid tier 1 right now. Because they could have easily just played the split push game, and they have enough. They can just follow the Batrider in groups of 2 or 3, and kind of farm more efficiently. But they did have that early game lead that we talked about, and it looks like their stubbornness to defend their mid tier 1 is working. We see LC kind of splitting up, but LC's not in a very big hurry to take tier 1s or like objectives right now.
Right.
They can kind of play catch up on the gyro, especially since he was the one that got slowed down the most early game.
So in the last few minutes, that 4 or 5k advantage that Mama's boys were holding on to did recede a bit, but they've kept that tier 1 tower up. It's definitely gonna help out when it comes to positioning. 60 Bambo farming away inside the enemy jungle and pushing out that bottom lane as much as possible. If they can keep that tier 1 mid and they can push down some of these side lanes, it feels like Mama's Boys will be able to take a majority of map control, even when facing up against Broodmother, which is surprising. Yapzor. Spiderlings are coming. He knows he's got counter wards available, and brother is actually beating away a bit of those Spiderlings. Furion throws out the ultimate. Jalopy is being wrapped around on, or maybe not. Sox might just be throwing down the aggressive jungle ward, and that's all.
Yeah, again, both teams are kind of converging on mid lane. Still use, but Baby Knight is so tanky right now.
Smart TV, but it's not going to be enough. There's just too much damage as Baby Knight's hitting for over 200 damage a shot, and Jalopy's magic damage overwhelms the Jakiro's HP.
Yeah, Baby Knight is not the normal Broodmother you see. He has like almost 2k HP or like 1.6. So I think the Hook has to realize that this isn't the Batrider that most people are used to, and try to find smarter targets or be a little bit more patient. It looks like LC is gonna get this mid tier 2 without much retaliation.
At the very least, Mama's Boys do get that tier 2 at the bottom lane with the help of a brave little treant leading the bottom incoming wave. 60 Bambos now up to 3,500 gold. What do you think he builds from here? Because I don't know what. I actually have no idea what the best item would be for him.
They might need a bit more damage. I'm not sure, because Wraith King, he didn't go for like the Radiance or Blade Mail. He has a Maelstrom. But he might have a hard time actually, doing that DPS, because a lot of the times Wraith Kings go Blade Mail or Radiance, knowing that they won't be able to get that many right clicks in.
That's just most of the time they're just there doing damage as a whole. Looks like they're going to get a pick off on both supports here. Viper does manage to get some distance there as they just keep on moving forward, but a TP up. Viper's still going to be caught right at the top of the ultimate and TP away, but such luck. As the ultimate expires, so too does his life. 8-14 now, 20 minutes in. Mama's Boys finding a pretty good pick off here, but look like they're going to be able to claim anything objective-wise. The Broodmother's still pushing out mid. Lone Druid is controlling top.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna get the Roche, and I think this makes up for the 2 towers on mid that they lost, because they had a kind of a hiccup going on the Broodmother with the Jakiro. Nature's Prophet, Bambo had such a good early game, and then he opted to go for the drums, which kind of, it's not a usual choice on a Nature's Prophet, especially if you have such a good game. So I think, like we talked about earlier, their thinking process was, they have the global potential, but they had such a good laning stage that they decided to kind of run over LC, and they made a few mistakes, and they kind of had second thoughts. But regardless, the game it played itself out, and I think Mama Boys should feel really comfortable again, because I think there was a small timing window where they kind of might have had regrets about how they chose to approach the game. But now that they got those 3 pickoffs and the Roche, they should feel pretty in control of this game right now.
What's going to be next up? They've taken all the towers at the bottom lane. Going to try and take a fight at top. And if they do go for like a 4-man push with maybe Furion or something pushing out the bottom lane, DPN. Do you think that London Conspiracy should try and fight Mama's Boys for that tier 1 top or even the tier 2, or do you think it's better for them just to split push with the Broodmother and Lone Druid?
I mean, I don't really like the terrain of tier 1 because it's like a straight line, and it sets up for really good terrors and Jakiro's spells. And the Batrider can kind of he has a lot of trees, as we're seeing right now, to kind of ambush LC, and Lone Druid is really close to Radiance, so like these tier 1s on your each off lane are kind of worthless. It's often said the Radiant tier 1 top is the most useless tower, basically. It's far from Roche. It doesn't really protect your jungle. So they TP'd in, but I think they quickly realized that this might be dangerous and that tower is not that valuable. It's like going into the mid late game, that the tower is not going to really do much. So they kind of tried to do something that I didn't really disagree with, but like as all the players on the map converged, they had second thoughts, and it's better late than never, right?
And, I mean, they got a little bit of farm out of the gyrocopter. It wasn't the most inefficient thing in the world, at least. But I agree with you and them for not taking that fight. It seems like an unnecessary risk, especially when you're so close to that Radiance, which can mean the world, especially up against the big time Batrider initiator. Baby Knight's sitting in a very comfortable spot. He's going to be able to pop the smoke, run himself away, and Mama's boys will not be able to get anything out of that except for a nice aggressive ward. But if London Conspiracy take that area back, I'm pretty sure they're going to check for a ward there. But
yeah, that was pretty lucky by Baby Knight. I don't think he had any idea that you know, he was in danger, but he happened to like walk to the right. And, Bambo?
Oh, gets Shadow Blade away. He'll be okay. Through some attention, his team is at least taking that tier 2 at top.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Team's London Conspiracy. Well, they've now completed the Radiance. So maybe they will take that next fight, but actually they still need Baby Knight's BKB, I think, before they go for it. Angelope's actually, so that's probably another like 5 minutes of farm on both of them at the very least. So probably just waiting out Aegis and
Crystal Maiden
fighting. The Orchid is going to go to work here, and they'll be able to pick up that kill quite easily. Unfortunately.
Yeah, LC is probably wondering, you know, they have their jungle is being watched by some ward, because that's the second time Bambo TP'd in aggressively like that. But too much is going on for them to de-ward right now.
That's going to be a really great ultimate. Viper was picked off immediately, but they are able to get a full-out gyrocopter ultimate that landed on 4. They've taken down 3 different heroes, but 2 of which have reincarnation. The Abzor, he had the Aegis. He's able to come right back in. Looks like a TP up, but the homing missile stops him. He will go down. So the 2 supports end up dying to the initiation onto Viper, which did result in his death, but well worth it for London Conspiracy, even if they did lose that tier 1 tower, as they took away reincarnation and the Aegis from Mama's boy.
Yeah, that looked like it could have been really bad for LC, because the Batrider lassoed Oracle. But Gyro came in at the right time and got a really good call down, and you know, I think LC feels pretty good about that. Gyro has a BKB, which he didn't need to use last fight. He might have not had it, in fact. And I think Baby Knight completed his BKB. Yeah, so double BKBs coming in for LC. This game has been actually quite back and forth. You can't just look at the net worth graph. Both teams had their respective timings, and I think right now is when LC feel like they have a chance to, you know, make a move that's going to potentially win them the game. And Batrider is looking for someone. I think LC's aware. They see him.
Now the Radiance stopping Hook from being able to make a blink forward anyway. Seems like because we have these big time BKBs, it becomes even more essential for Hook to hit the right initiation as his Batrider, but it's so difficult because Viper's always sitting in the back ready to go with that false promise to remove that lasso. Allow his ally free movement once again.
Yeah, this is kind of a mirror of what we saw at the top tier 1, I think. This tower is not the most important. I mean, it's better than the Radiant top tier 1, but they respect the double BKB timing on LC, and they'd rather play it safe.
Efka is actually going to be right-clicked by Sexy Bambo. I think he realizes he's not going to come close to getting that kill, but at bottom lane, there could actually be a bit better action. Hook was looking for the initiation somewhere. They start retreating. catch anybody here. Ice Path not on point there, but Solon's still going to be running into Pycat, who comes in from the side, hits that stun, and I believe London Conspiracy are going to have to give up the Crystal main kill. Fiverr, and he'll get out. Ice Path now.
Oh, that was so close. Yeah, that was, I think that's what the Mama Boys were architecting. They wanted someone to, because like they need more time to force TPs from LC because Bambo needed to reach the racks, and they let LC have the bottom tier 1, and then they saw the Syllabear or Lone Druid TP back, and they were really confident taking that fight. Baby Knight, is he?
He's skittering away. He's gonna be caught without webs, but it doesn't look like it really matters too much. Again, he's got that BKB. He can potentially turn at any point. Blood and Conspiracy just haven't seemed to find the right battlefield to take a fight. Every single one of these engagements has looked a little bit too awkward.
Brood
had to get away until Brood gets grabbed by Hook. Is that good enough? He got off the BKB beforehand, but even then, looks like the rest of Mama's boys weren't even trying to get near that initiation.
Under attack.
Yeah, that was really smart. As soon as the lasso happened, Vengeful TP'd out, and they wasted a 10-second BKB. Like, you can trade lassos for long cooldown BKBs all day. Roche is up, it just spawned, and they have, yeah, they're aware, whereas LC have no idea when Roche is going to spawn.
So between Pycat and Six Bambo, they're easily going to be able to take it. London Conspiracy will not be able to scout it out in time. And
yeah, one of the the Roche is for free. One of the things that I didn't like about LC's lineup is that they don't really have much control. They have 2 stuns, I guess, on their supports, but even those aren't really hard stuns. They're like, you can get out of them with BKB or disjoint them easily. Whereas if you look at Mama Boy's lineup, they have a lot of control. They have BKB control between the swap and Batrider. Even Furion, his Sprout is practically like a stun. Because all of the cores on LC are they're right clickers essentially, and he has the Orchid to easily make a support really useless in the team fights. So
Quick step drawer, but Pycat's actually going to make the initiation on a Baby Knight, who's going to try to be able to kill him real quickly, but Reincarnation coming back off the BKB. Pycat is not going to be able to make away from this. It looks like the swap goes down, but Kefka's still on the side. Oh, pushback on the bear, nicely played. Pycat might be able to escape, but no, he gets slowed down now. Baby Knight catches him a little bit longer, and Pycat will go down a secondary time. Again, Yapzor is going to lose his Aegis, but this time around, he will not escape. He's going to be surrounded by 4 heroes, but the important fight might be bottom. Kefka almost dying here. A little bit more. Sexy Bambo dodges 1, dodges 2. No, he can't get it. Sexy Bambo will end up claiming the kill on the Lone Druid, and now just needs to get a quick retreat out. Should be just fine. Put some pressure on that tier 3 tower and made it so London Conspiracy did have to back away, even though they want to fight right at that tier 2. That's usually a good position to continue to move forward and at least get a little chip damage on tier 3 or maybe force a buyback, but they couldn't really go for an objective there simply because of Sexy Bambo's counterplay at bottom.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse for Mama Boys. It's really unfortunate that they lost the Syllabear, or they could have potentially threatened a Rax or, buybacks. But the Bambo made the right play and forced Kefka to TP and even killed him. But yeah, like the initiation in front of the tier 2 top was sort of weird. We saw Pycat blink in and just get demolished within a second, and then he almost made it out because Venge swapped in, but I guess Mama Boys are too squishy right now at this point. Like the Wraith King, he has 2 lives, but essentially he's like really, he doesn't really tank enough. He has a lot of HP, but his armor's really low. And they use the Aegis. Who had the Aegis? Do you remember?
It's been Yapzor twice in a row. They've given it to Shakiro both times. I'm presuming like a 3rd life on Wraith King. If you've lost a fight, a 3rd life isn't going to make any difference. And I guess the Batrider Like he's always initiating and is able to force staff out, so I guess he's not really good with the Aegis either.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, the Bat Rider picked up the Shadow Blade.
Pull roots and run.
oh yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
double Shadow Blades now on their team.
Yeah, Bambo has a Daedalus now on the Furion.
Stolen
Yeah.
by a big ultimate coming out from Furion. He still has time to right-click Solon. Oh, he gets the crit too.
Too much.
Takes him apart. The rest of Mama's boys were making their way over. The Conspiracy realizing that, quick on the retreat, just abandoning the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, this is the damage I talked about on possibly Bambo needing to go DPS because Pycat's having a hard time actually getting those right clicks in. And this puts so much pressure on LC's supports because we talked about how the Orchid basically, you don't really have a counter to the Orchid, and especially as we saw right now, the Ghost Scepter is like a pseudo counter to the Orchid, or Nature's Prophet in general. But he has that Shadow Blade to kind of wait it out, and he's gonna be able to kill the either the supports in 2 right clicks.
Okay. So I guess it's going to be Force Staff or Biver. I kind of expected him to get a Ghost Scepter as well, seeing how Crystal Maiden is kind of one, but.
Yeah, but I think Ghost Scepter is kind of like it's a selfish item. It really only helps yourself, and if you have 2 between the 2 supports, you kind of like there's a lot of what do you call it, like opportunity cost, I guess. Like Force Staff is a game winner potentially throughout all stages of the game, especially late game. But if the Oracle gets a Ghost Scepter, he's already really poor, so people don't really have to. He doesn't have an X factor basically. And he can still die easily with the Ghost Scepter.
So Butterfly up next for the Broodmother. Looks like Kefka. He's got Vlads on himself. Where? There, that's up there. So he's gonna have the AC complete actually pretty soon. That'll be a big upgrade. It'll help counter Pycat's pickup. It's going to be an AC. Actually, he's already got it complete. So. It seems like Mama's boys have actually hit a pretty good swing now. It's like their second big peak, I feel like, with the AC in place, with Sexy Bambo actually being so big. I like the Diffusal Blade pickup versus that Ghost Scepter. He's just looking aimed on that poor Crystal Maiden all day long.
He still has a lot of room to grow. He can replace the drums and possibly upgrade the Shadow Blade to a Silver Edge. And swap the Orchid for a Hex later if he needs it, and a completed Butterfly for Baby Knight. I think Mama Boys they're not in any pressure to make plays right now. They feel really comfortable. They're dire. They have map control, and they know if they kind of like macro the map sufficiently, like they're gonna get the 3rd Roche for almost uncontested as well. Even though LC will try to they're not gonna. They gave 2 Roches for free, basically. So they realize that they're in a bad enough state right now, and they can't afford to give Roche the 3rd Roche uncontested. So we'll find out in like I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes maybe,
where this game is gonna head. So they actually go for their first smoke up now. Do they have any more smokes after this? I'm just kind of questioning the timing of it for London Conspiracy. They do. Can go for a smoke now, see if they can get a pick off, take a little control, and still have a kind of fallback smoke, I guess you could say, for when Roche is actually up. Right now, it's not even possible. London Conspiracy gonna actually use this smoke for positioning since they didn't find anything, and gonna go for a quick push down mid and force Mama's boys to defend. But they actually gonna try and take full-on fight here. Initiation could come in from behind. 60 Bambos pushing out the bottom lane at the same time. His tier 3 towers dropping fast. Viper, he's going to almost disappear immediately. Pycat managed to pick that kill with the Mjolnir hit. He's taking a lot of damage, but returning a lot with those lightning bolts. And it seems like that is going to be the end of the fight. London Conspiracy got to get back in time to be able to stop 60 Bambo as he's trying to finish up this melee rack to weigh a little bit with the Shadow Blade. They actually have no vision to be able to stop him. 60 Bambo. Oh, is he going to stick around? Is he really going to go for the melee racks? It looks like it.
Over at mid, though.
Are they catching someone?
Oh.
Crystal Main, he's going to go down. Lone Druid might still go down. Back to the melee rack. 60 Bambo is actually going to be able to claim that one, you cheeky bastard. They catch the Lone Druid Bear as well. Set it up in the air. Hit it with that ice path. The range racks will take a bit of damage as well. So London Conspiracy, a big misplay there as they tried to head down mid and challenge Mama's Boys and, you know, hopefully force 60 Bambo back, but that wasn't the case at all. He kept on pushing out that bottom lane, and in the end, to that clever play of his, managed to secure the melee racks.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate. I think there was no way else he could have realistically taken racks at that point. It was good that they could have backed, like, knowing that they forced Mama Boys to, you know, group up. But I mean, between the Nature's Prophet pressuring their racks and the buybacks that Mama Boys had, it was sort of like a I guess frustration move, or not a desperation move, because the Batrider has been having really good, what do you call it, anti-vision control. He had that gem. He's never lost that gem, and from LC's point of view, they were playing in the dark for a very long time. We saw like their supports getting picked off left and right by Bambo, and they would have kind of had to wander into the dark when Roche spawned. So, you know, they had to make some kind of play. I would have preferred if they bought a gem of their own. And as we talked about earlier, they don't really have good control on the cores of LC, like Lockdown. And this is like 5th time or something where I think Bambo kind of gets away after doing aggressive plays. Like that play on the racks, that was clutch by Bambo, but also like a simple dust would have completely stopped that. So, you know, 1 million racks down isn't the end of the world, but I think LC, they can pay a little bit more attention to having proper true sight.
Oh, this is a great pickoff. Jalopi is going to go down. Hook finds him. Easily gets the pullback. Jalopi's actually healed a decent amount until Pycat executes him with a big critical. They are still going to try and fight this one out. Jarkov's even going to buy back here. Pycat is in pretty deep, and Saksa, well, he's not making it away. Crystal Maiden tries to get out an ultimate. Freezing Field is canceled though by the Yule Scepter. Baby Knight comes forward. Pycat's still going to be the target as Jalopi makes his way in. Pycat has a blink, gets away. And that means the buyback there from Jalopi wasn't really worth it. I mean, they got the Vengeful Spirit, and they did end up getting this Sexy Bambo. Didn't follow that one, but that was the Broodmother tracking him down. But if they'd actually caught the Wraith King, I would have said, oh, that's so worth it. You know, buyback was great and everything else. I think they're still going to be able to force some buybacks here from Mama's Boy. Maybe not the Vengeful Spirit, but I'll believe that Furion.
I feel like they should get this tier 3, and maybe Roche might be safer. I don't know.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Conspiracy. They might be trying to push forward a bit too early. Once again, Pycat's going to jump in, goes for Baby Knight, trying to lock him down with the Ice Path, following it up, and he gets another critical. Finish spot. BKB goes down, lifesteal, kicking in for Baby Knight. He will be able to survive, at least for time being. Pycat slowed down. Life number 2, not looking real happy. He's going to go down. Buybacks to start coming in. Mama's Boy.
Oh, wow.
Didn't buyback on 60 Bambo at all. He's going to come up naturally. But London Conspiracy did claim that full set of racks in the middle lane and will still be able to back out. In fact, with these heroes down, they're going to go for even more. 60 seconds on the clock on the Wraith King. Mama's Boys, they had good control of this game for the longest time, but now things have turned very sour for them. They struggled to defend 3 versus 5 for a second lane of racks against the Lone Druid, who's going to be able to take it so quickly. This pick off on Jalopi really needs to go down, but he's still got the Satanic plus the BKB. He can turn and lifesteal right back up the full. Mama's Boys might have just lost the game outright. There goes the Furion. I think that's over.
I don't know what to say at this point, Kat. I mean, I was questioning 2 minutes ago. I was questioning their decision to go high ground, and now it looks like it's checkmate. I think Bama's boys kind of they had some kind of miscommunication. If they're gonna defend it, Bambo has to buy back right away. But the Bambo had like 30-40 seconds left, and it was kind of awkward to buy back.
Right.
And then you know, the Avenge aggressive TP and Pycat jumped in.
Now they've got no one left to defend. So the throne is just going to be inevitably right-click down as Mama's boys only just trying to get there, but the freezing field slowing him down, the pushback from the bear, that savage roar sends them all back to the fountain. Well, they will remain as London Conspiracy crushed the throne in game number 1. A big comeback from them. That was Mama's boys holding control of the game for 90% of it. But no matter how you start it, how the mid-game goes, it matters how you finish it. In London Conspiracy, they finished strong here.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Even the ending was a bit unexpected, but it was entertaining. I think